Okay, welcome to One Question, everyone. With me, I have Gibson and Johan. I hope so. He's still here. All right, don't disappear again.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
here.
So today we're going to talk about comics, comic books to be specific, and their impacts. This intro is way too boring for you people. I know, so I'll jump right into it. All right. So Gibson, what's your take on comic books, just in general, just comic books?
Say comic books, it's like comics in general is would be a different category or different genre for books. That's the opening statement, because why not? Second off, it does really visualize as well, like the things you read, the things you see, the things you can kind of experience or imagine. It visualizes for you and helps you to understand a bit more from a fixed perspective, of course. So yeah, I guess it just for the images, I think it would be helpful. Comic books are helpful. Thank you.
Johan, look lively. Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Hello. Is
yeah, I'm
anyone
here.
home?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
Good. All
Okay.
right. Okay. What do you think? What do you think about comic books? Just in
The
general. All right. The bare bones.
all right. The first thing I would like to say is I think this is the most professional intro we have ever done without arguing. So congrats to us. And yeah, about comics. Congrats to us. Yeah, and
Oh.
yeah, and comics. When we generally read a book, we tend to think about certain topics in our own way, in some sorts. So, comic books is like actually showing us the writer's perspective in a more like visual manner. So we can see his side rather than like we can focus less on our side. So I think that's just it. That's more helpful for us to understand the procedure, uh, the pathway. So I think yeah, that's it. That's my
All
take on
right.
comics.
So you guys basically think it's kind of a fixed point of view of a
Yeah,
person, and
yeah.
you're just reading his story. All right. So I want to give a little bit of a brief history of comic books, which was like kind of meant for newspapers. All right, for advertisement and kind of giving up a idea of a specific issue or something, like let's say awareness of a disease, like people made a comic strip for that, maybe malaria, stagnant water. That was the comic book. All right, that was comic books in the 19th century, people. All right, in the 90s, that's where it started. And then in 1982 or 83, somewhere, that Action Comics came out with Superman, debuting the first ever superhero. All right, that was some good right there. So the like you said, the idea of having a comic book is to give a idea, to convey a certain point. All right. So how that kind of evolved around time was that it started becoming more of a
Trend,
inspiration, because yeah.
more of a
So
trend.
what happened at more times, comics were being sold to soldiers to promote, like the soldiers who are fighting in the war, stuff like that, things like Captain America. Why were they even published? Because they were a monument for the people who are actually fighting in the war. It kind of showed that. So now as time went on, though, they people like Superman, Batman. All right, I'm a DC guy, so thank you. Anyways, poker face.
Poker face.
Anyway, so what kind of these characters we're trying to do is like you give us a sense of kind of their, what's the word? What's the word? Inspiration again? Because what Superman backstory? His planet died, right? And he's the last one of his kind, and he's on Earth, in a place full of outsiders. And what does he do? He's saving people with a smile, right? So regardless of how much of a powerful person he is or the things he can do, he's still working at a newspaper. He's still living with his parents. All right, he's not a billionaire playboy. Okay, he's still humble. That's what it kind of shows in terms of Superman. Okay, it shows a perspective or a concept like some like Batman. What it shows that how he dealt with his pain. He pushed aside his revenge and everything. He fueled his negative energies to something positive via determination and willpower, blah blah blah. All right, so that's what I think. And on the flip side of that, you can see Joker, who took that pain and that caused him to crack. All right, so it kind of relates to that type of aspects, I would say.
It's
So
more like the comics in general. It does give us new characters and, like, as you said,
yeah,
inspiration of new perspectives, new peace of minds, and all that stuff. So as you gave examples that, Superman, Batman, Joker, and even from Marvel, the Marvel comics, Spider-Man, and then many other dark characters, even Iron Man. So you can like look into the comic universe, like in general, like DC, Marvel, regardless. You can look into it and see, or help yourself to how to deal with everyday life, everyday pain, everyday happiness. Doesn't matter. It kind of helps you to give you a third perspective, like to notice what it is, what it might be, what it was, and all that. So for me, like, what I got from Malvin is that whatever it is, it was to convey a message throughout, through the entertainment biz, kind of like comic is kind of an entertainment biz because it gives like fantasy and all the stuff. So through that, it gives you a certain type of message that in the world there are people like that. It's like, I can relate to a character or something like that, so you
exactly,
can feel like I can do
Yeah,
this,
someone you
like
can
you have the
relate to.
will. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
someone you
That's what
can
I'm
relate
trying
to.
to. Yeah,
someone you can relate to.
Like, you get your will to strengthen itself after you see that you can relate to someone.
Yeah.
And after a fantasy or a comical genre, you can kind of feel more powerful that, well, I can be like him, except don't be bad, seriously. It's Don't be Joker. There are certain characters you don't want to take inspiration for. It was just for fun.
No, I think it's up to the people. Like when you say don't take aspirations from certain characters, like as
he's
you said,
joking.
yeah, I know. Like no, if we emphasize more on that point, like I would say they they show that yeah there are people like me, they're average people, but they can do something extraordinary. So I can too. So it's like an inspiration. It's like a motivation, a
Hmm,
self motivation.
exactly.
If I say.
Like yeah, it's like not everyone's sees a person and they're like, oh, I can relate to that. All right,
Yeah.
maybe that person never had a father or a parental figure, and but he's so in depth with these comic books, he can relate to like the character's pain, his emotions, and via him or her action throughout the comic books, it can give a sense of, again, determination, a will to move forward, to have something positive.
Look up to you.
Right, exactly, something to look up to. All right, not many real people are there. Like, what are you going to look up to? Donald Trump?
Don't go there. Come on. Let's stay.
he just
I
he
mean,
just
the
lost
thing
the
is,
election.
no, the
What you
thing is,
gonna do?
we
Huh?
we
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 can't
Right.
do anything
support
about
the
it. We
we
can just
support the
move on with our
electional
lives.
results. Yeah, we're just
Don't get
Yeah,
us
we're just
wrong.
on the good side. All right,
Don't
just
get
saying
us
that.
wrong.
exactly.
We are not in the middle. Not we are not in the dark side. We are with
What are
Lux.
you, bloody
Anyways,
Star Wars
not
fantasies or
gonna
something?
go.
Just shut
Not
up.
gonna go forward with this. Anyways,
No, like the origin for, like, what I know, two of the characters I know the origin for, like how they were created, why they were created in the first place. Like, the two characters I know of is Captain America and Spider-Man. So Captain America was just another comic relief for everyone to look up to, literally, because no comic character, all right,
I
unless
just want to add this to your point. At a point at the 80s and 90s, every comic, maybe not the 90s, every comic was supposed to be a comic relief. but it developed over time to a bit more serious tone, a bit more. It was the demographic were adults while still targeting younger people. So yeah, continue.
No, like so basically Captain America initially was I think I don't remember much, but I think it was his comics were posted on newspapers. So what was there is that Captain America was hitting Hitler. Like at a time there was wars and all those stuff. So it gave the people, it gave the general audience a bit of hope that they can fight it as well, right? Look at Captain America's origin. All right, he came out of nowhere. He became a soldier, and then for some reason he was injected some serum, and then he became the big boy he is now.
He
Keeping that
was an
aside,
experiment.
yeah,
So
he was more of an experiment. So keeping that
Test tube.
aside, Jesus Christ.
all right,
Let's go
let's
to
go.
Spider-Man. And so Stan Lee, the creator of Spider-Man, he mentioned that why not make a teenager a superhero? Because at that time, as his words, Stan Lee's
All of
words,
them are adults. Yeah,
exactly, and the
men and
teenagers were
women.
only Jesus
Yeah, men and women.
aggressive,
What's so wrong
way
with
too
that?
aggressive.
Okay, fine.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you something. You have to understand one thing. Like it's about comics, and Melvin is very excited, so we just
True
gonna have to
that.
go along with
Yeah,
it.
yeah. He's like comics. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
interested in
I'm
comics.
interested in comics.
It's like a sonar ping. It's like one guy says comic books, like ping.
Did you say
No,
comics?
Nani?
Which one?
so back in the day, like when Stan Lee created the character, the big guys, I think, the guys who were above him said that teenagers cannot be superheroes, they can be sidekicks only,
Sidekicks.
and teenagers don't have much of personal problems and issues and all that stuff. But Stan Lee did create a whole new character, Spider-Man, who has personal issues, family issues, and all that. Plus he's a superhero and he's a teenager as well.
Who
So
does
that
school like everyone else, gets bullied
exactly.
like everyone
That
else.
yeah, yeah.
So
Now, like
the
Like
thing is
I'll
like
answer
that
your
like a
thought.
normal
Yeah,
person, just like you said,
exactly.
is like a
they have
normal
a
person living a life,
relatable life. They have a
relatable
relatable life.
life, normal
So
people.
just like that, it kind of breaks their stereotype of like normal daily superheroes or sidekicks as usual. And many societies have established this, I don't know, basis of how you should live your life. It depends on different societies, but they do have a basis on how this should be, how a teenager should be, how a woman should be, how a man should be. So something like that. So Stanley helped the teenagers, I think, in my opinion, that is, help the teenagers to understand that it's okay to have problems. And if you have a problem, do not be afraid to, express it. So something like that, it does impact a lot, like in
Yeah,
personal lives
and
or in different
another thing,
people
it's
in
not
audience.
like that. Comics only like targets this issue. It also like grabs into attention like the bonding of family and other friends. Like if I talk about like Spider-Man, like he had a support from Aunt May, Uncle Ben. Like after he died, like still like Aunt May, like she helped him a lot to pass through a lot of stuff. So I think it also portrays like the bond like we should like teenagers should generally have with like friends and family and all. So I think that's also a point we should
Like
take
now
into account.
talking about the origin of Spider-Man and Captain America wouldn't matter much because we are way ahead of time. Like we are a long way from that period. But then again, there are gonna be, I think, I'm guessing again, there are gonna be new characters included, like introduced in the comics, which might as well be an inspiration from our generation and help us go through stuff. So something like that, like it brings us
Alvin
to a
wants to say
question.
something.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he
no, shut
raised
up.
his
No one
hand.
cares. So it brings us to a question. Just a second. Just a second. All right, just a second. Like it brings us to a question, like how, or which way the comics do help us or impact our lives in a personal or reasonable manner. Melvin, what were you gonna say?
Miles Morales and Sam. Oh my god, already they are
Wow.
replacing them. Or not
Wow.
replacing them. Maybe they're
Yeah,
bringing in a new generation of
yeah,
New
heroes.
hey,
generation, not
like
replacement.
yeah, like
Like,
yeah,
like, no,
yeah,
you
go
know,
on.
like, you said a lot. I'm speaking. All
Fine,
right.
go on.
All right. So,
Exactly.
both of you said, like, how they bring up a new generation. It's kind of like what Sony is doing with their current Spider-Man project with the Miles Morales. It's very much like a modern day teenager. All right. The kid knows how to speak sign language. All right. That's sort of a contemporary language for all. That just proves kind of what type of inspiration what these heroes are supposed to be, right? And furthermore, Sam Wilson, Sam, is it Sam Wilson, right? Falcon,
So
what's his name?
Sam
Falcon.
Wilson.
yeah,
Sam
yeah,
Wilson.
yeah. Sam
Yeah.
Wilson.
Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson. Yeah, he can go kill himself somewhere, all right? He's not my captain. He ain't my captain. Captain America ain't that. All right, I don't care what you say. All right, okay, I do care. It's your opinion, but
Jesus Christ.
Steve Rogers, please, Steve Rogers, even though he gets brainwashed by Hydra at a point, all right, but I don't care. All right, Steve Rogers. It's like
No, like
it's like
even in different comics, they truly portray that no one is truly perfect.
mm,
So yeah,
coming up at the point, the truly perfect thing, the current, not current, the kind of like the recent story or the issues that DC published was Heroes in Crisis. I don't know if you guys read it. All right, so Heroes in Crisis kind of like sets this tone as that no one is perfect, not even the heroes are perfect. So they have this sanctuary, kind of this place for therapy. So what the heroes does, they sit on a chair, completely confidential. The location is not given up. So they sit on a chair, they look into a camera, and they say what they're dealing with normal issues. Like Bad Girl sits and she says, I had to deal with the trauma of being shot, being paralyzed, blah blah blah. Being Dick Grayson sits down, he says he's having an identity crisis, like just like everyone else. He's saying Tim Drake is the smart one, Jason the strong one, Damon Wayne is the son, and what am I don't know who I am. Right, these are some questions like everyday people sometimes at a point in their lives have asked themselves. All right,
True.
so the comic book have what they try to portray in that story is that why is this such a confidential thing? Why doesn't they want to tell the people that these superheroes are going through their problems? It's simple, because they're superheroes. People look
because
up to them.
People look
exactly.
People
up to them.
think they
Yeah,
are
exactly.
perfect. All right,
Yeah.
if they see flaws in these superheroes, then the entire idea of it is null and void.
They'll
All right,
just
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
giving up.
The simple
they'll
example will
start
be
exactly.
yeah. The simple example will be like the one like yeah. We all like all three of us like read like the wait, the Joker Z one. Yeah. No, not the three Jokers.
Killing
You
Joke.
no, 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 no. You know the one, I forgot the name. Is when Joker takes all of Bruce's money and all everything. He goes broke. Which
Batman
one's that?
Eternals. That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Batman Eternals, but that's not Joker.
No, 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 not that one. That's there is anyone. Okay, anyways, like we saw that he turns like at the end, like he says like I
I
just wanted to
get
take away
it.
Gotham. Exactly, yeah.
I
Like
get it.
I
The
just wanted
recent
to
one.
like show like yeah, exactly. I just want to show like Gotham like how helpless they're like uh put out his true form. Like you know what I mean to say. Like even
No, like everyone, it's like it
the
does
Wayne
portray,
family
the
is also
comics
corrupt like
do
all the other.
portray the yeah, so like in that sense, the comics do portray that, everyone has problems, and it's okay. It's like, everyone has their down at a point. They bottom of a cliff. They do experience it at a point. So yeah, but at the bottom line, no one is perfect. So
And
yeah,
also they kind of show how they deal with it. All right,
exactly.
how they, like, one of the comic books for Flash. It really made me teary eyes. It was the Flash. All right, for the first issue, if I'm not wrong. We know the Flash, how it goes. He goes to school. His mom's birthday, opens the door. That's She finds her dead. All right. So here's a little nudge of detail that they gave. So before Barry Allen walks into the door, he has won a spelling bee, and he's really happy, and he's running to the door, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna tell my mom this." All right, and it's her birthday, so everything's gonna be great. Stop texting Johan. Anyway, so what he does is he opens the door. He opens the door and he sees his mom, well, killed. So now here's the little detail that I was talking about. The winning word in his spelling bee was catharsis. So catharsis means a kind of like a change to evolve from the pain, right? In his sense, at least. So it kind of gives that nudge, like people lose things in their lives, all right? So you shouldn't dwell in the past and move on with your move on and move on to the future, and also kind of concentrate on the moment itself, all right? And like some of the quotes that his mom gives, like have the courage to change, have accept what you can change, but have the courage to change what you can, right? Like these type of things that it really affects you in real life, like people who are still holding on to the path that they have and they're not being able to move forward, that this kind of goes for them, like to move on, to live your life, all right? So yeah,
No, like
I get
Yeah.
the thing is, so far we've been talking about like, dark stuff. Comics do even like give us an example of how we should actually have fun I, not exactly, but then again, an idea, for
Mhm.
teenagers it should be something, it should be the time of your life to enjoy, to at least experience what you can or learn as
Bond
much
with
as you can.
people, yeah.
Exactly.
Don't be
And
a
in
raven. Be a raven. Please be a raven. Oh my god, please be a raven. Read books all day. Don't
now like
talk to people.
now like basically like, to me, on a philosophical level, not to brag about, not to like expand that topic, but on a philosophical level, like the comics do tell us to live your life first. Second, whatever has happened in your past does mold you, but do not define you.
Define
You
you.
define
Oh,
yourself.
Black Panther. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. All right.
Don't,
Rest in
yeah,
peace.
true.
No, like, so basically it gives us a simple, idea of how we can help ourselves. That's the basically answer, to how it actually impacts us, how the comics impacts us. So, any conclusion?
John, what do you like? You have been very quiet. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I need to read
Your
more comics to reflect my
No,
life.
like, in like one
like
question, or
you have like you have read a lot more in terms of comic story and variant comics or whatever it is, so you give us our thought, your thoughts. I don't care what you think, even if it's
just like give
dumb.
us give us an idea of how it impacted you. Don't
Yeah,
say, obviously, don't detail it because we don't have time and I don't care.
Mm,
But
mm.
yeah, give an idea.
Well, I would say the comic that really impacted me a lot. It has to be Batman. Like I don't care about all. I read other comics, but it has to be Batman because his origin story is like so real, like so like down to the earth. Like it actually feels like if you're actually there, what you would do. It actually gives you a reality check that everything can be gone in a split second. So
yeah.
I,
It also like you said, it also gives a basis that you might be having everything in the world and still
that
have nothing,
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So
right?
I would say that's like that's just one of the things that like a comic portrays. It portrays so many other things. Like if you read the same thing in a book, for most general people, they won't be able to get the same feeling if like if they saw it,
True,
right?
very
If
true.
like they're looking at the pictures, they're looking at the illustrations, they're looking at like the tears of Bruce,
It's like
like
even
and the
the
environment.
imagery, like the coloring, actually
That
defines the comic
yeah,
itself as well.
true. Like
It's-
like
yeah, go on, go
altogether
on.
it just adds up. Like when you're reading a book, there we have a tendency to like sometimes like yeah, I'm reading, okay, someone texted, okay, let it text back or something. But when you're in a comics, it's most of the times you're going to be
Mal-
like
Malvin.
you're more you're more engaged in reading the comic because there is so much more details. Like you can actually see what's going on, you can actually image everything all together in your mind. That's something you can actually general people do like when reading a book. So I would say that's where like comics differentiate itself from like a general book or in general.
Like it's like a vivid visualization.
Exactly.
It's like last topic of the day. Well, subtopic. Which, like this, I would love to know, to be honest. Which character of all, any comical, universe, did affect you like personally, like the most, like
I'll go
personal
with
life?
Johan.
Yeah, I said mine. So
Yeah, same here. Like the idea of what I like about Batman's art is that the way he has been dealing with his pain, right?
yeah,
He lost his parents at a young age. Regardless of that, what did he do to do that? He didn't self-destruct. He didn't start doing drugs. He didn't like it's like what most people would have done, right? Even though he was a kid, but even though but I digress. All right, what did he do? He found a center and he focused on that. He channeled his pain to something
yeah.
positive. Like he
Also,
built.
adding to
Yeah,
that, like like guiding Alfred, like
Yeah,
he
guide,
also
yeah,
guide,
yeah, yeah.
needed a
guide
very
as
good
a guide.
guide. Uh,
Yeah, a
everyone
father
like
figure, a
everyone
father
exact
figure,
a father figure.
a father
Exactly. Yeah.
figure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Go on, Malcolm. You were saying.
Yeah, so like what he did was he channeled his pain to something that's something positive. Like he worked, he exercised, he built his body, all right, to fight what he thought was bad, like which is the crime in Gotham, all right. So that's what I really like. His very much his determination, all right. Like he will go on so high points just to do something. Like when his son died, he was sad. Right? Again, he didn't self-destruct. Everyone thought, like no one thought that, but his family thought he doesn't give a shit. But nah, man, he's just dealing with the pain himself. But when Darkseid's mute this part, when Darkseid came up, all right, Godfrey, all right, and he took his son with the Chaos Crystal. What did he do? Went to the Justice League, all right. He's like, I need the suit. He's like, nah, it'll kill you. He's like, I need the suit. He's like, it will kill you. He's like, he takes the suit. All right, he takes the suit, goes to Apocalypse, all right, has a chat with his fists with Darkseid. He's like, all right, where's my son? Where did you take? How dare you? Right? So this, like, again, I digress. Like I exaggerated, but the main idea is his determination and his will. That's what really impresses me. That's what really inspires me. Yeah.
Well, for me, it would be, well, Deadpool, because I mean,
Why not?
exactly,
Yeah.
it's expected. But the thing about Deadpool is, like, in certain comics, it really shows how deep. First off, how depressed he is. Second off, how lonely he feels. Thirdly, how ignored he gets. So, like, it begins like in a comic, he basically steals the infinity.
Johan, I think he's trying to blame us. I
I
think
don't
he's
know,
trying to blame
man.
us.
Oh,
I think indirectly that's
He's
coming
trying
on
to
us.
blame us.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I
I don't
get
know.
just
it.
Malvin, just
Bussy.
Malvin.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
We
just
don't want to
Malvin.
go there,
yeah.
but yeah, alone,
It's just Melvin.
lonely,
This guy.
ignored.
Oh my god. Oh jeez. All
No, like
right.
in
Anyways,
in a
continue.
comic, he basically steals the Infinity Gauntlet and wants to control, because he wants the all the attention he can get. But then he realizes that forced attention isn't really,
Attention.
satisfying. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
it's not real attention that they're doing as you're controlling them to do, not as they're willing to do. So, and following that, there is also a comic that, at the beginning, it's told at the beginning that he helps a suicidal girl,
Yeah, I
that
agree.
and gets her tells her that he basically is a negative yet positive person. He's like, oh, there's this building much higher, you can jump from there, you'll die instantly, you're gonna break your bones and still live
Nah,
from here.
she was at Oscorp, if I'm not wrong. She's like,
Yeah,
you should go
Oscorp,
to
yeah.
Parker Industries. That towers are much higher. He's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, nah, I'm
So
just letting you
basically,
know.
Deadpool and then takes her to a facility and then
Yeah.
tells the nurse that take care of her and inform her family about it. So that actually shows that Deadpool feels others on a personal level, and if you saw the movies as well, Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2,
Yeah.
you're gonna know what he
Especially
goes through. especially two. Yeah, he basically loses the only person who really cares about him besides Colossal. That part's different.
Fan
But
fiction. Sorry. Carry on. Carry on.
so basically, like, he loses the only person who cares about him, who they were getting married or almost getting married. They were married. I don't remember. But yeah,
Almost
they were
having a child.
almost
Gonna have
having a child. So imagine that hope, that ray of hope, that you never had a stable house. You can never call a place home that was actually your home, right? So imagine not having that, and finally have a rising hope that finally you're gonna settle down, you're gonna calm your mind, you're gonna have a happy family, and then it gets taken away from you. Normally, usually a person wouldn't stay stable at all. Like we can take Punisher as an example, like the comic character Frank Castle. He didn't take it well. But Wade, on the other hand, like Deadpool, on the other hand, he also didn't take it well, but still he tried to be a better person. Not in the way that I thought it would go, but yeah. I
Yeah, he
mean,
claimed
Deadpool's
that he's
mostly a bad
Batman.
influence.
He claimed that he's Batman. This ain't good.
Catwoman left
It
him
was
too.
it's so
Yeah,
dark.
He's
Are
like,
you from the DC
he's
universe?
like, Cable, legit Cable is about to death punch him. He's like, who are you? He's like, I'm Batman. I'm like, excuse me?
Oh my god.
Stay in your own universe.
Well, Deadpool has an effect on people. Oh
No,
well.
I really agree with what Gibson said. Like like even though through the excessive humor and the gore and everything else, right? Like deep down, he still has a heart. He still feels like everyone else, right? He still has some of the problems that
Think
everyone
even
else
even
goes through.
I think one of the fun fact about Deadpool or Deathstroke, I forgot who, that their weaknesses, like even Hulk, their weaknesses are kittens, legit kittens. Just place a kitten right in front of them and they'll dumb down. They'll just slow down. That's it. Like how soft you have to be to just stop by a kitten. Unless you're a Joker, you massacre them.
Well,
Anywho,
then, like
that
if you're Batman, you'll take a cow and the
oh
dog.
yeah, that's his. Isn't cow is Deadpool's phobia, by the way. So he's
Wow.
scared. He's scared.
Nice.
Don't come to Bangladesh during Eid, all right, Qurbani Eid. Don't, man. Whoa, you'll be running for the hills.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah,
Alright.
like that
he would make
brings
a good
us
butcher though. Anyway.
maybe
Maybe.
that brings us to, I guess, an end. Not yet. Well, we're gonna discuss about
Never
other
an
topics.
end.
It never ends.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys for staying with us for
This
long.
was a much
So long.
more
Fun. I
oriented
liked this one.
fun.
oriented.
This was really nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
See,
So,
like when we
signing
talk
off.
about the things we like, it's a lot, you know. Anyways, yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Daddy.